The numbers are going up. Did you see it? Oh, how good. How good. You know what that means. It's another episode of the Footballholic. And man, we're going live stream.
Live stream.
Live stream. We're testing it out before the big live stream week we've got coming up for the quarters, semis, and the final of the Pro Clubs tournament. Welcome back, Nathan. How are you?
Oh, good man.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
How's this set up?
Mate, it's taken us about an hour. To get going. I think didn't we say 1 o'clock originally?
Yeah, we did say 1 o'clock actually. So we've been on this call for
it's not like
finally getting it going.
Yeah, it's not like we've got much else to do, I know. So last week of the tournament was a bit interesting, fair to say.
Just a tad. Your typical last day shenanigans of any competition, I suppose. You'd say it. Last minute goals, for and against, losses, draws, upsets, everything really.
It was fantastic. I enjoyed watching that Group A one. That was fun. The Cobras winning.
Oh, I would have said your group. How
You
was
reckon?
that? Going down for the wire, 3 teams on the same amount of points.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was pretty cool.
It wasn't bad.
Pretty intense finish.
Before we get into anything though, us two in particular, we're going to be a bit busy next week because we're going to be live streaming basically a live podcast while we're going to be having the games up. We're going to be watching it. So basically for the viewers watching, if you want to watch the games, you can have it on one window. But if you want us talking a bit of smack, we're going to take some Q&A. We're going to have a bit of banter. We're going to have a bit of fun. It's going to be on another window as well. So you can have 2 windows open. We'll talk and while we're watching that game as well. So we're trying to make sure we have the streams linked up to when the other games are playing as well. But I'm keen for that. That's going to be fun.
Oh, it's gonna be some cracker games too. And I've just turned on YouTube. Look at that. We're live. We're live. How good's that? It's good to see yourself down there.
I love that. Yeah, that's the first time anyone's ever said that to me. What was your favourite part of the third week of the tourney? I think I've dropped my phone. I'll be able to pick it up.
The favourite part of the third week of the tourney.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've already covered it. Just the whole frantic scenarios on the last game day. A couple of last minute equaliser, a couple of big wins, a couple of high draws as well. Wasn't there your boys and Olympic, and I think there was a 5-5 draw between United and Gibson Park.
Which is what's seen Gibson Park through in the end.
10 goals in a game. That's insane.
Mate, so, I tell you, and it got completely lost with me until yesterday when someone responded to that question on the story. But I actually scored a hat-trick in that game, and I didn't even notice. We were just that devastated. Oh,
mate,
wow.
I turned it on. I turned that game on. You guys were down 4-3. Saw an equaliser. 30 seconds later, saw a winner, and then you choked it, man. You just got to keep the pro clubs. You just wanted to hoof it out of there. No.
It wasn't a good strap.
Right at the death, eh?
Yeah. Well, from a disappointing point to a very pleasing point. So obviously we'll touch on the Talk to Me Bro donations again. So they have cracked 4K, like we said the other day, but that means the Unidera Pro Club scored an extra 3 goals, extra $60 over the 2 games they played on Thursday. So that was brilliant to hear. And if anyone wants to donate to the cause, there's links all over our socials as well. Anyway, but before we get into the reviews of both groups, I'm sure people are going to give it to us for our predictions from the start of the tournament. We're going to go back to the start of our tournament, the predictions we had, just for a bit of fun. Okay. I picked my winner to be Wollongong Olympic. Who was yours?
Conno.
Yours is about spot on. Mine was obviously not.
No, way off.
Unfortunately. They had potential. I felt. Favourites, I had Olympic, Helensburgh, Bow, and I Conno.
Yeah, I had both of those, so balance for both of those too.
Bow.
Both 5th places though, so I mean, close-ish, yeah?
Yeah, kind of, maybe.
Because they both could have made the finals if they won that last game, but I don't know. Oh well.
That's just how it works.
How much did we know about pro clubs, teams in pro clubs before this competition? We are solely guessing.
Mm-hmm. And that's the fun part of it.
Exactly.
Dark horse. Now we got half this one. Yeah. We both picked Warilla, I think.
Yeah.
Dark horse in the wrong way. Dark horse was the bottom. And Gibson Park Rangers.
I went the Pups, so yeah.
Fair. The Paul Warilla boys, they've been giving it to us about that prediction, eh?
They're the ones that underperformed, so
Mm.
we should give it back at them. I thought
Oh,
we
well.
did pretty good. We're
Oh, well.
pretty close to the other stuff. Mainly.
Who's scoring the most goals? This is probably the only one I got right. Coniston. They've scored the most goals.
I thought United scored more.
No, because United had the 3-0 forfeit win.
That's true. Yeah, right.
Off.
Well,
so
I
said, gone by one.
I said Pups and Olympic.
Fair.
Pups were then the 9th in the goal scored, so not the closest prediction.
Yeah. They weren't known to be scoring many goals, weren't they?
No.
But the clean sheets, I went the Pups. I don't know how far off I was with that one.
Let's have. I've written down all the stats already.
Of course you have.
Look, I've got top.
I wouldn't expect anything
Pups.
less. I said Pups, yeah.
Hey, you are spot on. Tied top clean sheets with Port Kembla SC.
I love that. That's fantastic.
But, just to that.
Yes.
UAW FC coming in the second clean sheet along with Spurs and United. So I didn't think we did too bad further down the table.
You know what? Your last night was pretty good. Apart from Cobra's game.
Apart from that middle game, yeah.
But look, there's no harm in losing the first place.
Yeah, we had two clean sheets several times.
Two clean sheets. Can't ask much more for that.
It's because I went back into CDM. That's where. So.
Oh, yeah, you can pull a string somehow. But we'll get into a Group A review now. So we're going to touch on, obviously, the group as a whole, a little bit about the last week as well. And I better get the winner app this time now so I can see. Because Nathan finally discovered how to get the app out. Fantastic. I don't know what was up with that, but anyway.
I'm not the only one. I've heard a lot of people saying.
1,000 people.
Yeah.
Just painful. Absolutely painful. But the Group A reviews. So who was your best performer from the third week? I
went Cono from 5th to 2nd. 3 from 3. They absolutely dispatched last game. Did you see that? 7-1 to make the final.
Forget that. The second game against Port Kembla. 90th minute header.
Really?
91st minute. Stoppage time. 2-1 win.
Huge. That is huge.
They had a big night. And
so they're on a bit of form.
Yeah. Well, we were joking before we came on that I picked them to just miss out, didn't I?
You did. In Group A.
Oh, well. Look, I love being proven wrong. It's a regular occurrence as well, which is why I tell them, don't take my tips to heart, please.
It's commentator's curse.
Yeah. Well, are we commentators?
Same thing. We talk.
Yeah, I guess. We're commenters. We're commentators.
We comment on this.
Yes, we're not always accurate. We'll admit it. We'll be held accountable when anyone asks. But we're going to be, before we get into the table, I'm going to touch on the Group A, what I saw that final game in particular, which was quite ridiculous. So the final round they were coming into, if I'm correct, I'm pretty sure was Connor. No, Cobras were on top. Cobras were on top. Pups were on top. Sorry, yeah, Pups, and they had that defeat the last round, and Cobras were up there as well. So Pups were playing. Who were they playing? They were playing. Pups played someone and they lost. They're playing Port Kembla, who had 2 losses, I think. And Port Kembla beat them in the last round. So Conno had that big 7-1 win against the Berg. So Conno's gone top. And the Cobras, surprisingly, at the time, were 2-0 down to the last place Dandaloo. Half an hour to go. I was hearing their stream. They thought they'd thrown it away big time. 3 goals in 25 minutes, 85th minute winner, and they steal the league.
They're a second half team, the Cobras, because we'll kneel all of them at half time. They put 5 past us. I mean, they scored a couple before we got to play a sent off, but they just put 5 past us in the second half.
Wow.
So second half team for the Cobras.
Well, that's interesting because the quarterfinals are going to be 2 legs.
Couple catch-up games in the end. Score some goals at the end. Away goal rule? What's your away goal?
There is an away goal rule. So there's going to be an away goal rule if it's a draw. But because, so FIFA, obviously, if you finish it as a draw in a friendly, which is how we match up, they go to extra time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if the away goal rule comes into play and it goes to extra time because the last game finished a draw, you don't go to extra time. On the other hand, though, if away goals can't split it after that second leg and they finish a draw that last leg, they'll go to extra time. But if something happens, and let's say the team who was down won the last leg, and it finishes as a draw, away goals couldn't split them, then a full match replay is going to happen.
Okay.
After that, so it could be 3 games.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I'm looking at this live stream though. It looks a bit pixelated.
Oh,
I don't know.
God.
Is that my laptop? It might be my laptop. I don't know. Anyway, we'll touch on the final table for Group A. So as we all know, Cobras stole it at the death, finished top on 24 points. Coniston was second on 23. Pups were third on 22, and so were Port Kembla on 22 as well. So the top 4 teams were separated by 2 points.
Wow.
And the Berg, obviously, they got gapped in the end because they lost to Cono by a big margin. 18 points. They were 5 ahead of Uni. Big recovery, 6th spot. Mate, that was all right.
I'm happy with 6. To be fair,
I'll be pleased with that.
We're bang in the middle. There's 5 above, 5 below. I don't think any happier than that unless we actually made the finals. But
well, yeah, you guys were really you're lonely in 6 because your rivals, Uni Spurs. That last game was a 6-point game in the end because you knocked them off at the end.
Yeah.
Uni Spurs are on 13th and they're on 9 points in 7th. Oak Flats Falcons a disappointing finish, 9 points in 8th spot. Dandaloo 7 points in 9th spot. If they won that last game, they would have jumped up to 7th.
Yes.
Which would have been a massive recovery for them. Shellharbour Juniors on 6 points in 10th. And their last game, a 3-3 draw with Bulleye, was their saviour because the most disappointing campaign based on merit in history of this competition after 2 whole years has been complete. Bulleye last place on 5 points after making this quarterfinal last year. So really, the cap Semi McKellar just unable to recover from that, and he couldn't rally the troops, even though he got given 18 months or so to rally the troops and get them going. Look, something's going to have to change in that club just now.
Change the captaincy, I think. Bring in Guy Knight for next year.
Guy Knight when you need him. Okay, but we'll go through each team quickly and give them a quick grading based on kind of what we thought at the start, where they were going to be. And so don't take these ratings to heart, please. Please don't get angry if we give you guys a B and you thought you had an A-. It really doesn't matter. We're here for a bit of fun. Okay.
We've got no clue on how you guys should have performed before.
Yeah. We didn't know how your preseason went. Okay. We're just having a bit of fun here because we're like you. We're bored out of our minds. All right. So Nathan, Cobras first. What grade are you going to give them?
Are you doing pluses or just a straight grade? I reckon just
straight grade. Yeah.
Straight grade. You got to give them an A for winning the comp.
Give them an A. Yeah.
You got to give them an A. Same with Coniston. I think Coniston as well, an A. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah, I'll give him an A after that last night because I was thinking what happens here if they slip up. The only disappointment they had really was those games where they lost or they dropped points and they had those red cards. I think one of them was against you guys in the first week. The Pups, I gave them a B.
B? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they favourite. Yeah, they were favourites going into it.
Yep.
Yeah, so B, yeah.
I know we weren't doing plus or minuses, but I gave Port Kembla SC a B+.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's about right.
Yeah,
Helensburgh, I gave him a D.
I would have said like a C or something.
C? D?
Yeah, I thought they would have made the final, but
I thought they would have been up there.
Yeah.
Pretty disappointing. Because everyone in that team, in that region, was calling for Jared Cole's head after the first week.
Every week he it.
Every week. I don't think he played the second week and they had a good second week.
Maybe Cole's he's a bit like that.
Oh, poor bloke. Uni of Wollongong, I'll give him a C+.
Yeah. Take that. Yeah, I'll take somewhere in the middle there. Not too bad, not too good, you know.
Uni Spurs, just a C.
Yes, I would have given him. Maybe a B. I think. I thought they picked off a few points at the teams at the top.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
They took points off what Cobras. Some other couple of teams up there.
All right, now this is the part where heads will wobble. The Oak Flats Falcons once again underperformed 2 years in a row, led by Blake Crandell. It's got to be an F.
I reckon nothing. F. Definitely
nothing above an F. Absolutely disgraceful. The fact that half their squad couldn't come back this year just tells it all, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What happened to your camera? There we go. What happened? You lost it.
No, what happened?
Oh.
Did it cut out?
Yeah, it just came back as soon as you clicked the button there. Anyway, Dandaloo, I gave them
D, probably a D.
Yeah, if they dragged the result against the Cobras, they would have been 7th in the end.
Yep.
So that could have been the difference. But yeah, D for me. Shell Harbour, Wigan, Shell Harbour.
Well, I probably would say like a D minus as well.
Yeah, we'll give them that. Now, it's quite obvious what we're going to give the next one.
Can we give Zeds out?
I don't know. If only lucky we didn't tell anyone this live stream's going ahead. Just we're testing this out because we got Sammy McKellar on here. He'd be axes in the comments all
in
the
the
time.
comments, it's just going at us.
No one else is watching this yet, aren't they?
No, I think it's just me and you.
It's just us. We didn't tell anyone. This is just a test for the week, so it's all right.
Tester.
So that's the group. So the story of the Final Four finish, we touched on that. Stories from the group. So what were your favourite stories from playing in Group A, Nathan?
Favourite stories?
Mm-hmm.
Mate, this is hard to say. What do you mean a favourite? I would just say that Sammy McKellar
enjoy the most. Yeah, Sammy McKellar. That's my favourite story. Sammy McKellar flopping.
Just choking. That's all.
Extremely hard. It was disgraceful. Disgraceful.
Now, what do we
fly away?
What do we reckon about the two Russellvale teams getting through? Both of them.
One thing I mentioned is not just the two Russellvale teams, the two Port Kembla teams. So the two teams that are doubling up. Oh, sorry, Uni missed out. My bad. There's two teams that have doubled up that have made the quarters, which is pretty good. And so half the quarters is Russellvale or Port Kembla, which is a fun stat.
Very fun stat.
Yeah, shame Uni couldn't help them out.
Well.
Table. Oh well, that's okay. What's next? Okay, so the goals scored for Group A. Now, Cono is obviously going to be first. Cobras was second. Actually, comes goal scored after the last round because there was a lot of high draws. The Group B teams, I think they were struggling last week with goals scored. They've pushed up a bit. Helensburgh were on 27. Pups were on 26. And we keep going. Port Kembla SC, they had a tough last night. They very nearly missed out. They nearly went from first to last. Or not last, instead of missing out. You can't go from first to last. Yeah, first to fifth. If you're not first, you're last. But UOWFC. Now, we're going to touch on this in the live stream once people are actually watching us. Who will win out of UOWFC and South Coast United? Now, granted, we had a tough last night, so we conceded more goals than you. We scored 2 more goals than you guys, though.
Oh, so that's pretty close.
We had a shocking first and last night. So realistically, we scored more goals than you guys in one night, as opposed to you guys having 3.
You guys got 2 goals in us, and you're talking yourself up like that.
And you know what the difference is, don't you?
What's that?
That hat trick I scored.
Is it? You see goals conceded? 17 more goals you guys conceded than us.
I know, it was disgusting. But granted, we had a player sent off 5 minutes in for a penalty in the last Picton game, and
no excuses, mate.
No excuses. We were disgraceful. It was so disheartening up front, just watching everything fall apart in front of my own eyes. Not to say I could have scored a few more goals because I couldn't have done much more. You know, I've scored more than a third of our goals. Like, come on, like what more do you want from me? But anyway, goals conceded now. Port Kembla SC are top, Cobras are second, Cono's third. The top 4 teams in terms of goals conceded in the comp are all from Group A.
Yep.
Uni Spurs are in 6th behind Unidera. They conceded 16. You guys are next on 21. We keep going down. Falcons are next on 20. Oh, sorry, the Berg. I missed the Berg.
The Berg were next.
Berg were next on 20. And then Falcons were 23. So they weren't that far behind. Then there's Bulleye. Bulleye was 14th. The team who's conceded the most goals in Group A was Shell Harbour by about 8 goals to the next one in Dandaloo, which is, yeah. But anyway, Group A. I mean, B. We did Group A.
Group A.
Yeah. So best performer from the third week. I don't know. I'm going to give it to Port Kembla.
I said Port Kembla as well.
Yeah, Port Kembla because they won every game. They
including, what was it, 5-1 over Wollongong United?
Yes, 4-1, 5-1. It was
5-1,
a big.
something like that. They pumped him.
United dropped a few points
They
that
did.
night. The only game they won was against us, and that's no achievement. Granted. No, I'm not discounting them. They finished first. Congratulations.
Yeah,
to
good
them.
on.
Don't send any death threats to my mailbox, all right? So,
just
what were we on? Best performance of the week. Yeah, just abuse me in the comments, please. Please. I've only set up this whole tournament for you guys. God, I'm in form today. Final table. So, it was closer than what I thought it'd be at the end because Wollongong United only fit. Well, they started the night 5 points ahead with a game in hand. They only finished 1 point ahead of Port Kembla.
Well, 9 opposed to 4 points. So yeah, fair enough.
Which is Port Kembla finished second on 22, but then there was a gap to Gibson Park, 4 points in third. But that's when it got interesting because Gibson Park, Unanderra, and Woonona, they were all on 18. Goal difference split them in the end. Now, we were touching on it before we came on. If Woonona didn't have that massive loss to United, that 8-0 loss, and kept it to 3 at least, 4, they would have got in over Derra.
They would have.
Derra had a goal difference of +4, just better than them. Wow.
It's not much difference. That one game, but yeah. And because Unanderra did, equalise?
Yes.
Second last round?
We didn't you say that would decide the 4?
I did
last week. See, we do get it right sometimes. Sometimes we do.
Did you see the goal as well? Did you go back and watch it?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
It was a decent goal. Curly outside the box, just breaking Woonona hearts.
All right. Oh no, what a shame. But in the other hand, Olympic were only 3 points off the finals, and they would have probably made it too because they finished on the same goal difference as Derra. So if they got another win, they would have made it in, which was
interesting.
Yeah. Picton ended up finishing on 13 after getting over South Coast United in the last game. South Coast United finished 8th on 10 points. Albion Park White Eagles recovered a little bit the last night. Finished 9th on 8 points. Werribee finished 10th on 6 points. Albion Park City had some forfeits again on the last night, which was on 4 points. But we're going to give each group a letter rating. So for Wollongong United, before last week, it was an A++. It was an A++. Now it's just an A.
I reckon it's an A. Well, I mean, you'd still be happy with an A, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Well, they finished first. You got to give it to them. Port Kembla FC, I've given an A+.
Yeah, definitely.
Fair?
Good finish,
Gibson Park Rangers, I've given them a B- because they struggled a bit.
They went up, they went shots, and they just scraped in. So, probably.
That first week of theirs really made the difference. The last 2 match weeks, so the last 6-7 games, they only got 6 points.
And they still scrapped in. Wow.
They got in. And we'll touch on it later once we get to the quarters preview. Their last 5 games, their run of form hasn't been that good. Unanderra Hearts, I'll give them a B.
Yeah, B+.
Yeah. Well, they were mid-table last year.
Look at and their goals conceded compared to the rest of the teams in the competition. Even in that group. You seen it?
I'm having a look at it now. It's really low, isn't it?
Yeah, 14 goals conceded. Were they the best? They were the best defensive team. No, Cobras and Cono, but the best defensive team in that group. And I thought they were very attacking too. So,
yeah, well done to them.
Close games. Good on
B+, I reckon. Woonona Sharks. Oh, B.
B. Yeah.
C. Because they weren't bad at all. I thought they're a chance of making the 5. They were tough.
A B if they didn't lose 8-0, but a C.
Yeah, a B if they didn't lose 8-0. If they didn't lose 8-0, they would have made it. Olympic, C.
Yeah, I'd probably give them a C.
Picton Rangers, C+.
They picked up a little bit on that last night, I think.
Yeah.
They weren't they right now? Yeah, C.
Give them a C+. South Coast United,
go.
I would give us a C-. Purely because of that second week we had a big points all. If we didn't have that second week, it'd be a D and an F for sure.
So you said C-?
I would say C-, yes.
Yeah. Yes, it sounds decent.
We got into the double digits points, which is a win for our Hawks. Considering we only had like 4 days to prepare. I only joined the team last minute, right on the deadline day.
said we're there. But
yeah. If they didn't have the goal scorer, I scored more than a third of the goals. Just saying. Most of them were tap-ins. Most of them were tap-ins, but you got to be there. Or mind you, that hat trick, I only scored one decent goal. Both of them were like fumbles from the keeper, and I just tapped them in. The other one was a nice finesse on the edge of the box. Yeah, but anyway, mostly tap-ins, but you got to be there to take it. Albion Park White Eagles, they've dropped off a bit from last year. Actually, no, this is around where they finished last year, was it? I'll give them a D.
How's a +1 goal difference, and they're sitting in ninth spot?
Wow.
2 wins, 2 draws, and 6 losses, but more goals conceded.
Wow.
So interesting, because you can say they did pretty good there, but not really.
D.
Be about a D+, C-.
Needed some more leadership from Morgo there. I wonder if he broke any controls on that last night, because that last result against Olympic pumped in the last game. I don't think they were too happy with that. Wirral Wanderers, I give them. I don't know.
You give them an F.
We've slaughtered them enough, haven't we? We've slaughtered them enough.
We gave so much chance to come back and fix. We're backing them and everything.
Don't send us death threats, boys, but we've been there. Sorry, take it. Come back stronger next year.
Yeah, prove us wrong next year when you come back, or in a few weeks if this lockdown gets extended above round 2.
Oh Christ, the pro clubs of the league. Imagine that. Albion Park City, you have to give them an F because they didn't play 2/3 of their games.
F.
Unfortunately,
Big F.
Yeah. Big L.
Big L.
What's next? Story of how the Final Four finished. So we touched on it a bit. How the last 3 teams in the top 5 finished on equal points, but at the end of the day, that was the goal difference was the difference in the end. That Unidera-Woonona game was crucial, and so was that 8-0 United game.
It was insane.
Wow. Stories from the group. Some stories from my perspective. All right.
Go on. You were there. You lived it.
I'll be honest with you. When we played Woonona, we got that 3-2 win. I'll be honest, we did not deserve that win at all. And I'm sorry, but that might have been that missed penalty from Seamus to make it 3-3.
Mate.
That was the difference in the end, wasn't it?
Missed penalty. Surely that's straight back to centre back.
Oh, yeah, well, he's a fullback in real life. So he's got to be experienced in the back line, but wow, I didn't think about that. That actually was the difference in the end. Whoops.
It's the FIFA scripting. FIFA scripted right there. The typical.
I've got to say as well, FIFA scripted, mate, I don't know how our player 5 minutes in, our centre back, got sent off against Picton for a penalty like that. It was the softest penalty I've ever seen, and they gave him a red.
There was another one. Did you see there was another one in our little our group with all the captains? Someone posted, I think I don't know if it was Rilla or Coniston or something like that, and it was a pen, and it just wasn't a pen. So FIFA scripting.
Yeah, it was Rilla Picton.
It was a real Picton, yeah. One of the first week, and somehow it was a penalty, and it just went downhill from there. So it's been out full force. FIFA have done everything to make us not like this pro.
I'm hanging for FIFA 22. It looks better, but I'm skeptical.
Have you seen the new Pro Club features?
I have.
It looks pretty schmick. I'm pretty excited for it.
Yeah, they better fix the bloody gameplay though.
Definitely.
Crosses from the wing. My God.
That's the gameplay.
That's the gameplay.
R1 square.
That's R1 square.
Yeah.
That's the gameplay. That's how we lost all of our goals.
Yeah, that's how a few of the teams beat us as well. But that's how I play as well with the pacing winger card.
Exactly right. Goals scored though now for Group A. B, sorry. I'm getting my groups mixed up. United finished first on 38 goals. It says 41 on the app because they had that 3-0 4 for win. So realistically, they had one more goal than Gibson Park, and they had one less. You want to count goals because Gibson Park played at Albion Park City when they had players. Gibson Park 37 goals, Port Kembla FC 32 goals. I don't know that's including Gibson Park one as well. Olympic on 30 goals.
Yeah, we're going to have the Albion Park City ones on there.
Here's one.
Yeah,
here's one, and this didn't include the Albion Park City one. Albion Park White Eagles 28 goals. Seventh in the overall comp.
Wow,
that is a stat. And another interesting stat as well. We didn't score many goals us from South Coast. We had 10 games. We scored 20. 2 goals a game, even though on FIFA terms, that's not that much.
No.
All right. Unidera only scored 1 more goal than us, and they made the 4.
Yeah, look at their defense compared to
But their defense was fantastic. Yeah. Their defense was out of this world. And it goes to show FIFA 21 is known as a game for a lot of goals, but they defend pretty good. So they only conceded 10 games, 14 conceded.
That's pretty good.
That's outstanding.
In FIFA terms.
That is outstanding for FIFA. Well done to them. But we're going to get to the fun stuff now. Now we're going to be reminder. We got quarterfinals. Knockouts. So we touched on the format earlier. 2 legs, home and away. Away goals will be counted, and if it can't be separated and the last game ends in a draw, go straight to extra time. They can't be separated and the last game doesn't go to extra time, full match replay straight away, winner takes all. Basically, go extra time, pence.
It's a lot to it.
We're going to preview the first one, Cobras against Dera. So Monday night, all four ties are going to take place. Cobras and Dera and Connor and Gibson Park. They're going to be leg 1, 7:30, leg 2, 8. And then the other 2 games are going to be 8:30 and 9 o'clock. So you got 2 hours of not only just watching that, but coming and keeping us company.
2 hours we're going for, are we? Jeez,
a few hours.
We're gonna have that much to talk about in 2 hours,
mate. That's why the listeners, if you're watching this, flick us Q&As. Bring us in Q&A. You could be taking the mickey out of the fact that I haven't had a haircut in God knows how long. Or I've only just trimmed the sides and it looks ridiculous. Or I've just washed my hair and it's fuzzy everywhere. Something like that. Or I've got a fat forehead.
Take a mickey out of your teammates as well. I want to hear people's stats as well, and people taking out on their teammates for being a bad comp. Yeah. Anything.
Like Helensburgh, you've been slaughtering Jared Coles the whole time. This is your time to shine.
Because we'll just talk about him. Because I've got plenty to talk about Fuzzy.
We're going to be talking about anything. This isn't a commentary thing. This is a banter thing. We're here for a bit of laugh.
Ask us about the Olympics. Ask us about Gladys. I don't care. We don't care, do we?
Premier League starts next week.
Oh, it does.
That's why we didn't have the final on Saturday night this year.
Premier League starts. Mate, now that we're in lockdown, I could literally watch everything because there's nothing on the next day.
How good. You gotta love it. But anyway, we got off a tangent there, so I'll probably put that as a video snippet up on the socials later, 100%. So they get the message.
Yes, because
they can give it to us.
Share it out. Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. But Monday, QF1, 7:38. We got Cobras against Dera. Now this one's going to be interesting. The Cobras got a bit lucky that last night, but they're in good form. Cobras in their last 5 wins on the trot.
Now that you can actually see that on the ladder, on the app.
Now that I figured it out, because Nathan's all over this after 15 minutes.
You
figured it out. We'll touch on a couple of stats. So Cobras, 13 goals conceded. That's the second best in the comp.
Yep.
I think it's equal second, though, as well. 30 goals scored, the 5th best in the comp. And I don't know if this is what it comes out. It might be equal with some other teams as well. Their form as a whole, 8 wins, 2 losses for a team who won the entire thing. I think that's the best record in the comp. And I'll have a look at that because I can now. That is the best record. So they have the most wins in this comp. They've won the most games. I wouldn't have picked it at the start, though.
No. Because we're talking about the pups.
We were talking about the pups, weren't we? They, in the end, they finished 3rd. Dera, on the other hand, you consider them a surprise packet considering they've improved dramatically from last year. Their last 5 games are loss, win, win, draw, win. Mm-hmm. So they're in pretty good form. I'm pretty sure that last loss they had was against us.
That was a while ago, wasn't it?
It was last week, yeah. Anyway, the stats for that. So 14 goals conceded, which is...
3rd best. Tied 3rd best.
3rd best. So... basically, they're 1 less than the Cobras. And are they 3rd best? I thought they were 5th best.
Is it? Maybe I'm looking at the wrong.
They're 5th best, yeah. But they're equal 5th best with pups.
3rd best.
So really the 4th.
The 3rd best in the team's remain.
Let's go with that. That's all what matters in the end. Their record, on the other hand, is a bit mixed. 5 wins, 3 draws, and 2 losses. That's an okay record, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's
average.
enough.
Yeah.
scraped in with the other teams at 18 points. So
yeah, give it to them. Next quarterfinal 2, which is also the same time, 7:30 and 8 o'clock. We've got Coniston and Gibson Park. Now, there's been some stern words over our Instagram stories already from Friday. I don't know if you've seen it.
no, what's happened?
They've both been giving it to each other. Like, I'll give an example here. Someone, I won't disclose in terms of privacy. Someone put up a thing saying, "What should we do?" I said, "What should we do on the live stream?" Someone said, "Oh, you guys should do live betting odds." For example, Gibson Park to give Connor a dusting at $1.01.
Oh,
Right?
you're kidding.
And then came back no later. Relax, Gibson Park Rangers. You had a 1-1 draw with Olympic. Olympic aren't that bad. That's not much of an insult. Olympic aren't bad at all.
That was I mean, it's good to see him bite back. I love the dance.
Yeah, I know. There's been a bit of toxic culture in just every week, and
great.
I'm just bad. I'm facilitating this toxic culture by just putting these comments out there. It's not my comments.
I mean, there was a couple toxic ones from the night, wasn't there? When you lost,
was there?
Was there? Bit of
no,
not against other people. No, just against FIFA.
It was against FIFA. We turned the party chat off. That's why. We don't want to harm the club.
No, that's fair enough.
But anyway,
that's why I put it on my personal Twitch account so I can say whatever I wanted. Nothing to do with our club.
I love that. Anyway, so 7:38 for Connor and Gibson Park. Connor's last 5, guess what? 5 wins. They're in superb form. Best amount of goals scored, 39 goals scored, which is unreal. 13 goals conceded, which is third. Also unreal, which is, like we're talking about Unidera, 14 goals conceded. 13 goals conceded for Connor. And mind you, most of those came, or half of those came at least when they were down to 10 men. So, in their form, 7 wins, 2 draws and 1 loss. That 1 loss against the Cobras, where they had a red card, but mind you, I think they were already 2 or 3-0 down when that red card happened. They were struggling a bit against Cobras.
Those guys are killing them because they
tied it up the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, they slipped against us because we were down 2-0 and they got a player sent off and we drew. That probably that cost them. Yeah, that cost them.
Did in the end, but. It didn't matter much because they're in pretty good form as it is. Gibson Park, on the other hand, probably the worst form going into the finals, I reckon. The last 5, loss, win, draw. Although that last draw got them into the finals in the end because that was against first place Wollongong United. Despite their slip up, they had that big first week, right? And that big win the second week. 37 goals scored. They're equal. I don't know if it's equal third, but they're third. 37 goals scored, which is unreal.
And they had 12 points out of the 18 points.
Well, that means their last 6 games, they got 6 points.
Wow.
And they still crept in. Wow. Anyway. Their record as a whole, 5 wins. 4 of them came in that first week.
Well, that's pretty interesting to say.
That is unreal. That first week won it for them.
Literally. And their last win come from the other night.
5 wins, 3 draws, 2 losses. Whew. Anyway, that's their form preview for the first 2 quarters. I'll let you take it away the last 2.
The last 2 quarterfinals, eh? So it's what? Oh, I've got an ad on my app now, so I have to wait. Nah, it's all right.
Come on.
Bring it up. Come on, winner.
Riverside.
So, Russellville.
Winner, is it? Okay.
Yeah. Russellville Pups. So they finished second, third in that comp.
Mm-hmm.
And they take on PT. That's leg 1 at 8:30, and then leg 2 at 9 p.m. Obviously after the first 2 games.
Yeah.
On the quarterfinal night. The Pups coming into it. Sorry, there's just so many different buttons to this app, man.
Oh, you're telling me.
It's got a lot on the form for the Pups. Draw, loss, win, loss. So their last 3 games the other night were 2 wins and a loss. So 2 losses in their last 5 games. Whereas Port Kembla FC, who second in Group B, 5 wins, 5 wins on the trot.
Yeah.
So the same form as Cobras going into this one, and they beat top table Wollongong United in Group B as well. What do you
There
think?
you go.
What do you? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's one of the best games.
In terms of goals scored, you've got the Pups. They're ninth overall. They scored 26 goals.
Yeah.
The Port Kembla FC were fourth with
I think
32 goals
I
scored.
think our YouTube live stream went down as well, which is a shame.
Oh,
I don't know why.
our
Maybe it's my
heads are-
laptop.
our
Need a
heads are
new
gone.
laptop. Mm-hmm.
Heads are gone.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, go on.
And where was I up to? Goals scored. Goals conceded sides. Pups, the tied third best in the whole competition with 14 goals scored. So they're the same as Unanderra.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me.
And that's when we said the top 4 teams in least goals conceded were all of Group A. But Port FC, a little worry for them. They're 15th in conceded. So they conceded 24 goals in the whole competition.
SC or FC?
FC.
Mm.
So
Well, I think a lot of them came in the first week, though.
Yeah,
Pretty sure.
so they have obviously fixed it up since then. It's all in the back of their mind, I reckon.
I think they'll be right. They won't care.
They definitely won't care.
Because I remember they had a few goals put past them by Gibson Park, and that was in the first week, and they had two from us. So how many goals was it in total?
24.
24. So a few of them were counted in the first week. Pretty sure. But anyway,
so the other game. So QF4, obviously same league times, 8:30 and then 9 p.m. Port Kembla SC from Group against Group B leaders and winners Wollongong United.
Yep.
Into this, Wollongong United, they went coming into the last game week. They were winning by 5 points. They only dropped one game. They had a loss and a draw on the last week, so their win, loss, win, draw.
Yeah.
So that's their games, and that loss obviously was against Port Kembla FC.
Yeah.
You look at Port Kembla SC, it's pretty similar. They've got one more loss, compared to Wollongong United, so their win, loss, draw, loss, win.
They had a tough last week.
They had a very tough last week, and they just scraped in, obviously thanks to a few other fixtures that went their ways.
Yeah.
So that should be an interesting game because a little bit different, a little bit same in form as well. Obviously, no teams going crazy in their form, but in terms of goals scored, we all know that Wollongong United topped it.
First, yep.
41 goals scored, whereas PKSC, they finished 12th with 22 goals scored.
Yep.
So a little bit down, but this is where the big one comes in. Goals conceded.
Yeah.
Port Kembla SC, 10 goals conceded, the best in the comp by 3 goals. So you've got the best attack against the best defense.
Oh, I love that.
I didn't realize that till now. I'm looking at this. How good's that?
That's gonna be so good.
So
rubbing my hands together now.
Oh, that's going to be a great game. And obviously, Wollongong United goals conceded was still 18, still very good, and they win 7th. So
yeah,
that was what that was second best in Group B.
It's pretty still good though.
Oh, 100% you take that heading into the finals.
Great stuff. Right, but now tips. So
tips.
We'll go. Actually, before we do that, how is it going to work? The winners go into the semis. So the winner of QF1, which I believe is the Cobras and Unanderra, they will play the winner of QF3, which is Pups and Port Kembla FC. So we could have a all Russellvale semi-final, possibly. All right, and I think I got it wrong yesterday. I said if the two Port Kembla sides won their semis, they play each other in won their quarters, they play each other in the semis. Got that wrong. It's the two Russellvale sides. QF2, the winner of QF2. So Connor and Gibson Park will play the winner of QF4, which is Port Kembla SC and Wollongong United. So on the other, if Connor wins and they come up against Port Kembla SC again after the last game, if Connor wins and they play Wollongong United, that's two heavyweights going at it. They're two best teams.
That'll be a great game.
If Gibson Park go up against United again, their last game was a 5-5 draw.
5-5 draw.
And not only that, Gibson Park, even though they struggled the last 2 weeks, they still have one of the highest goal scored in the comp, and they're playing Port Kembla FC if they win. So there's realistically, it's the semis is going to be good regardless of what happens, basically. But tips now. So QF1 Cobras against Derra.
Cobras.
Okay. Go Cobras, yeah. QF2, Cono against Gibson Park.
Coniston.
Yep.
Yeah.
QF3, Pups against Port Kembla FC.
Port Kembla.
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know?
I don't know.
Bit on the fence?
A bit on the fence. Because the Pups... Port Kembla's coming home strong, though.
They are.
What's the Pups' last 5 games again?
Pups' last 5 games?
Yep.
Only 2 wins in their last 5 games.
And some of their wins haven't been convincing, haven't they?
I don't believe so.
I'll go Port. Port. QF4, Port Kembla FC against Wollongong United.
It's not a great game. I'm so excited for this one.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to go Wollongong United.
I would too, but I'm skeptical on both teams because they didn't have the best last week. But I think Wollongong United's getting home.
Yeah.
That one. But anyway, Nathan, that is the pod. And I think we went for like 50 minutes there. I think the live stream dropped out, but I will sort that out hopefully
See how we go.
Yeah, hopefully. Maybe it's just me. Maybe we'll just live stream to Facebook or something. But anyway, thanks for joining me once again.
No worries. Keen for the quarters?
I'm keen for this live stream.
Yes.
For this live stream. It's going to be so good.
Very exciting.
Well, yeah. Anyway, thanks everyone for listening. We'll catch you during the week on the live stream.